Hey guys, GHAZZY here, and I wanted to talk about July being smacked to the rims with ARPG releases, starting with Torchlight Infinite coming on 4th of July. Now, I have played every single season that they've had since their open beta a few years back, and their official launch was about a year ago. And it's been a very interesting ride to be on. Now, I wanted to make the video to showcase the progression of how the game has had since their initial launch, as they have been doubling down. That's not even enough. They've been tripling down on the approach of listening to community feedback, finding a way to introduce and implement those changes to enhance the quality and the enjoyment that the game delivers. Let's dive into it. The game started with its open beta having 2 pre-seasons before they launched officially last year, and now having released the Season 7 Clockwork Ballet as of July 4th. I played all of these seasons and found myself enjoying both Season 2 Black Sail as well as Season 6 Whispering Mist the most. Now, the way Torchlight is making the endgame feel great is by having these past seasonal mechanics become part of the core game to allow player agency in choosing what type of endgame content to engage with. My focus will be my 2 favorite mechanics. Black Sail, providing a pirate-themed mechanic. I mean, obviously, I would be playing a pirate-themed mechanic, hello? Featuring fit waves of enemies to kill as well as endgame boss encounters. I mean, what else could I be asking for, right? However, the Whispering Mist is something out of my comfort box, actually, or comfort zone. Because it gives you more of a roguelite gameplay experience where you navigate through the mist in sort of a mini-game between your time mark runs. Basically, you're jumping into another area of the game where you're playing this mini game to traverse the mist and get to the end without losing the characters or your player's sanity. And the more days you progress through, the bigger your rewards, and there's also some bosses that you can encounter with this. I don't know what about this mechanic that makes me love it. I'm finding it hard to pinpoint what exactly is it that makes me love it, but I'm just so happy to play it. So those 2 is the ones I'll be focusing on. But what are your favorite seasons so far? Let me know in the comments below. Now, this month, we're starting July off in the 4th of July with the release of Season 5 Clockwork Ballet. Now, this is a huge update, which is bringing us a lot of reworks, including things like a vastly improved PC interface changes, further emphasizing on the most valuable approach Torchlight has shown from every release since they started: listening to the community feedback and finding a good way to implement those changes and enhance the experience of the game. As the game has evolved, there's been both ups and downs, so let's just get the negativity out of the way first. Their monetization structure. It comes in 2 different shapes. One being how new classes being introduced this season is locked behind a seasonal pass and can in the following seasons be purchased with in-game currency to be unlocked. Now, I personally don't mind this specific monetization structure at all. I find it pretty fair. It's a very cheap way to unlock a hero, and if you don't want to spend the money, you'll be able to have access to the hero in the following seasons. The other shape is the pets. Now, all pets are gated behind a gacha system, which you get currency for in-game for free by just playing the game. Now, I will say that the majority of pets that I'm using when I play the game have been collected entirely free to play. However, you are able to spend money on getting pets as well. Now, this is the part a lot of people are frowning upon, myself included, mainly because of the gacha system. It is fair to point out, though, that the pets bring a variety of perks to players, ranging from offensive or defensive benefits to your character, or even item drop enhancing modifiers. I do feel that it's very important to point out, though, that these pets are by no means needed to clear the entire endgame of Torchlight, and that the entire game has to offer. But I feel it's important to fully disclose the monetization structure. Even if they have a rather small impact, they still have an impact to begin with. Season 5 Clockwork Ballet is, as mentioned, doubling down on the listening to the community feedback, and I'm very excited to see how the new PC interface will look and feel. They've also streamlined endgame content to avoid making it feel like a chore. This has been done by cutting down the mid-game grind to allow players to progress through the endgame content at time marks into the higher endgame faster, and making it feel significantly less repetitive. This has been shown in the past with some new items being introduced that gets you a stepping stone, if you will, into getting significantly better gear on your character to be able to handle higher tier content, upon which you'll now need to change those items out. Endgame content is where the focus of the game has always been. And with the new release, we're given the power of player agency to control which type of seasonal mechanic we wish to focus on when we play the game. This is something we've had access to some degree, but they're doubling down on this based on player feedback again. And my personal approach will be to engage with both the Black Sail mechanic and the Mistville content, as I found myself enjoying those the most. So what is it that makes this game so fun? I recently caught a video from Palsteron. Now I'll leave a link in the descriptions below to that video in which he did an updated review for the game and covered this very specific topic in the first start of the video. Now the focus of the game, no matter if it's targeting the endgame, quality of life, or replayability, has always been to make sure the players are having a good time. Whether that is solved as with Season 7 by removing needless grinds to get to the endgame, or simply quality of life decisions such as minimizing UI clicks or auto loot for smaller currencies, or the fact that crafting help, loot filter, and an in-game wiki are all available in-game. You are not, there's no necessity to do something outside the game. You have everything available to you. All the tools are there. Now, Palstron covered this in a very nice way. Again, I'll leave the link in the descriptions below. But I do have very little to add to this list. But what I will add, though, is that the in-game availability to check things like hero rankings, in which you can see how other players have set up their characters to beat the hardest content, allows you to check if there's something you can improve on your own build. You don't have to follow a guide. You can just simply check that and look for inspiration and see what has X or Y person done with their characters using the same abilities as me. How can I improve the way I play? This also goes further into the game having an in-game target dummy in which you can actually play test the efficiency of your characters. Now, Palstron also made a statement saying that if you are an ARPG fan only looking at Diablo 4, Path of Exile, or Last Epoch, you're absolutely missing out, and I could not agree more. Nothing is more frustrating, though, than delayed releases. Torchlight has since launch delivered polished, high-quality League mechanics like clockwork every 3 months. This has built a lot of trust in the community, and rightfully so. Normally, I only play PC games for the most part, but I did give Torchlight a try on the phone, and I found myself enjoying that mobile freedom where the current interface actually works out fantastically. Luckily, the new season that's coming out now as of July 4th that they're launching is solving this specific problem for the PC gameplay. All in all, the progression of Torchlight has been a very enjoyable ride to be on, and I've always found myself playing it solo, but I might try the newly added multiplayer function in the new season. Now, if I were to rank the game from a scale of 1 to 10 on a few different categories, it would look something like this. First off, I want to talk about the monetization structure. I would give it a 5 out of 10. And the main reason I give it a 5 is because one part of it I really like. The other part, not so much, and that's mainly due to the gacha system on pets, even though they have a very small impact on the player's power. Next up would be new player friendly, which I'd give them a solid 8 out of 10. It's extremely easy to get into. There are even options to look at other players, what they've done in the game. And you can get direct help by following other players' gearing or talents, or simply go your own way. And all of this is available in the game, so you don't have to go to any third-party sites to look up what you need to do or get some inspiration. The PC interface is without a doubt a 4, maybe even stretching to a 5 out of 10. However, this rating is very likely to change as Season 5 is bringing a complete rework to this specific topic. Endgame replayability, which I think is the most important when it comes to ARPGs, especially for me and the way I play games, is an 8 out of 10. The game is a fast-paced, fun experience to engage with. I jumped on the game to do some test runs just a few days ago, and it was just as fun to play the endgame then as it was during the first weeks of the season for me. Now, this is my take on the progression Torchlight has had since it launched. I'm very excited to dive back into the coming days. My favorite class in the game is Iris Growing Breeze, playing with the Frost Spirit Magus minions, which will be my starter build for the new season. Now let me know in the comments below what class you'll be starting with. And as always, guys, thanks for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed it. And don't forget to leave a like, subscribe for more content like this. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Until then, as always, stay safe. Keep rocking.